in terms of my work that I do with learners and the website here, so I have this clever sort of acronym that I created to drive home this notion that the type of learning we're proposing here is not the learning of school, of being taught. It's the notion that you now have to use the knowledge you have to teach yourself, essentially. In other words, to undertake a process, a conscious decision to undertake activities that will expand your level of ability. So, learn for you now, for our purposes here, is what you need is language education. So, in other words, you need to know more about language and how it works, such as this fact. Language is as much doing as it is knowing, right? So knowing is one thing, but doing with that knowledge is the next phase. And so um, it's important to learn more about the nature of language and how you can achieve. So language education, LE, and then activities. So, for example, if language is a complex skill where knowledge is just half of the story, and then the other half is what do you do? The next question is, so what do you do? The activities. Like I said before, certain activities that you associate with gaining knowledge are not the activities that will lead you or that will enable you to develop skill. So memorizing meanings, rules, translating words, copying, right? Those are activities that may be effective when you're trying to store knowledge to pass a test, to do well in school. But when you take it to real life, then what do you do to develop skills? It's a whole new set of activities. So learn now in this phase is language education, learn more about language and how it works, and develop a repertoire of activities. For example, the guy who is really into bodybuilding, right? They have a lot of knowledge about muscles and what happens and how do you grow muscles and and then when they put this knowledge into practice, they develop a whole repertoire of things they need to do. And they consciously seek opportunities to engage in those activities. So it is important to go to the gym, and you want to work your deltoids so many times, so often in certain ways. Activities. LEA. R is for resources. What are you going to need in order to be able to undertake those activities and to engage in that exercise? So if you are the bodybuilder, you need a gym, you need weights, you need maybe somebody to spot you, help you with the exercises, you need the proper nutrition, so you need to have all these resources, the gym, the person who helps you, the weights, the equipment, the food. Greater awareness of what language is and how it's best acquired leads you to engaging in certain activities, and those activities will require certain resources. Everything from reading materials to dictionaries to listening material integrated with your reading. Other resources focused on the phonetic aspects of the language, familiarizing you with the sounds, pronunciation issues, grammar, you name it. There are resources out there that are specifically designed and most effective for non-native speakers of a language and who are trying to master that language, in particular English. So there you go.
move away from the notion of learning as a passive receiving of knowledge, which is associated with school, with teachers and textbooks, and start focusing on learning as an active, conscious decision to engage with the language through specific activities with the appropriate resources so that you can continuously expand and improve your skills for communicating in the language. That type of learning will lead you to mastery.